Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I believe I passed a test yesterday. I don't know if you guys out there know what goes on with when in the way that some women think. Now, I don't know if it's all women or some women, but I was tested yesterday. I am convinced, and maybe some of you women out there can tell me and let me know if I was tested. I feel like I was tested. One thing I've learned is that about being married and women in general is that I don't know much, and usually I'm told. Well, here's what happened yesterday. As I've told you, I hate unloading the dishwasher. Well, my wife unloaded the dishwasher first thing in the morning, and she unloaded the dishwasher and she left some dishes in the sink. I believe that is a test. I believe that it's a way of saying, well, I unloaded the dishwasher, so I'm going to leave these here, and you better load them in the dishwasher while I'm gone. And so I passed the test because I loaded them up, and there was no issue. And so let me know, was that a test? Because I haven't asked my wife if it was a test, but I think it was. And also, I've heard some questions that people might like Brad Garlinghouse to be asked. Well, I have a question for Brad Garlinghouse. I would like to know if Brad has to unload his dishwasher. And if I do get a chance to talk to him, I think I'm going to ask him that. And there's also something else that I'm going to do, and that is that everybody liked my son's picture that he drew. He did a pretty good job on Steve Mnuchin. So I thought that maybe my son needed to draw Brad Garlinghouse a picture that I could give to him at Swell, just as a gift. And so I think I'm going to do it. I just don't know what the picture should be. Should it be, my favorite photo of Brad Garlinghouse is the one where he looks so intense, and it's a black and white. You've all seen it. And just let me know if you think that's the picture that my son should look at and draw, because I was thinking about letting him draw a picture of Brad Garlinghouse. So anyway, let me know on that. Okay, now I've been watching these Zuckerberg hearings today. And every time I watch one of these hearings, I'm just literally stunned at how these people do not get it. It's like 10 or 15 people that are questioning Mark Zuckerberg, and you have at least 3 to 5 who don't even know how to ask a relevant question, relevant to what the topic is. It is just stunning. And then some that ask questions that might be relevant, but it shows their total lack of understanding about what all this means and what it is. I am stunned every time, and it's really scary, and that's why I said here, it's entirely appropriate that this month is Halloween, because the ignorance is downright scary. I stand by that statement. It is. The crypto utility guy at utility guy 7 sent me this. As we all know, the markets crashed this morning. Now, as I've told you many times on this channel before, and I get made fun of for saying many times, how I've told you all the time. But anyway, many times I've told you, it doesn't make me nervous when when XRP crashes just because it goes down because Bitcoin went down, and the reasons always have to do with something that's totally irrelevant and has nothing to do with the fundamentals of XRP and what I believe will happen for XRP. Well, this is the case. This article didn't say much of anything in terms of specifics. The next one did, though, and I'll show it to you. But it just said Bitcoin crashes by 7% and showed this. And then, but the next thing is where I think it kind of tells you. Tony Valentino said this, and I'm not sure what he's really talking about here. Crash Bitcoin, quantum computer system is ready. Jay Clayton says XRP is not a security. Imagine if all this lines up on the same day. What are the odds? But what I wanted to show you more than anything is that he's showing this article, and it's basically saying Bitcoin slumped and the markets went down because of the Libra hearings. And so if that's the case, that's a great buying opportunity because the Libra hearings are gonna last today. And I mean, I don't know if they're gonna do them more than a day, but even if they did, it has absolutely, I mean, not just XRP, it has absolutely nothing to do with Bitcoin. If anything, it should help Bitcoin because these people are bashing Libra left and right. But anyway, and then there was this Grayscale, their announcement that I talked about in my first video this morning. The announcement is our second commercial goes live today as we double down on drop gold with our next chapter of educating investors about investment case for Bitcoin and BTC access products like GBTC. So go watch the commercial. These guys have done some really good commercials, and I'm glad that they're hanging on to I'm glad they're doubling down on drop gold and going with the store of value thing. I think Barry Silbert is smart enough to know that that's their only hope. Okay, NBK Crypto at NBK LYRAD sent this, and this was a tweet from that Anthony Pompliano did. He's kind of poking fun at Peter Schiff and says nice rock because he's tweeting out that new drop gold commercial. And then having to do with Anthony Pompliano, I saw this in the news today and I thought I would pass it along. Pension funds put $50 million into Morgan Creek's new blockchain fund. Now, my understanding is that this new fund is an equity fund. They're not investing in digital assets themselves, and it's also current. I think it was is current customers of theirs that are investing more money. They may be averaging down. I don't know what they're doing, but the point is that they are attracting new money in their hedge fund. So that's a good thing for the industry overall. Next, from Bank XRP, Zuckerberg innovate. He went and did what I advised the billionaire not to do. If America doesn't innovate, our financial leadership is not guaranteed. Mark Zuckerberg says that he doesn't know if Facebook's Libra cryptocurrency will work, but that he thinks it is important to try. This, I don't like, I advised against this because these people are just waiting to get a whiff of feeling like you're in some way threatening them. If you don't do this, it's to your detriment kind of thing. I think that's the wrong approach. And then PhDJ does tweets, sent part of this. You can actually see the clip where he says this. Mark Zuckerberg, I actually don't know if Libra is going to work. Well, Mark, no need to worry because we all know what is already working. I do. XRP, the greatest digital asset ever created, is working, Mark. So anyway, and then we get this, okay, from Mr. B at XRP Mr. We got this. I was actually at the store picking up one of my outfits that I'm going to wear at Swell. I should tweet it out. But I was actually picking up one of my outfits. I was waiting on them. It had been tailored. I was waiting on them to go get my outfit, and I watched this video that Mr. B sent me while I was doing that. But this is a video. Brad Garlinghouse went on with what's her name? Maria Bartiromo. I think I said that right. Anyway, on Fox Business, okay? Went on her show, and the two most interesting things that were thrown out. The first is this guy right out of the gate says, Brad, if you keep doing things right, Facebook's just going to buy you. And that was the first interesting thing. The second interesting thing is how Brad Garlinghouse continues to throw barbs at Libra and Facebook. He said he meant something to the effect of, yeah, Zuckerberg, he's sitting there saying that they're wanting to help the government, and that's why they're doing this. Meanwhile, they're setting up in Switzerland. And so Brad Garlinghouse was all over this guy. The old saying, he was on him like a cheap suit. And then Brad Garlinghouse tweeted this out. Always a good time chatting with Maria Bartiromo. While others in crypto are moving overseas, Ripple is committed to working proactively with U.S. regulators on blockchain crypto We just opened an office in DC and we're here for the long haul. Can you say checkmate? Brad Garlinghouse is talking. You know what he's talking to me like? He's talking to me like a guy who has tried to meet with Facebook and got snubbed by Mark Zuckerberg. That's the way this sounds to me. And that is purely, I could see myself saying this type of stuff and really piling on Mark Zuckerberg if when I approached him to talk about what was going on with Ripple and XRP, if he was arrogant about it, if he pulled the way Blockbuster treated Netflix, I could see Brad Garlinghouse being kind of sour, but who knows? All right, and then there's this. This was a Coil blog that was done by XRP Twin at Ferdy. Go give a follow and go check out this blog. This is a blog that shows a bunch of the XRP community YouTubers. They put me in there, Schwartz, DM Logic. I'm going over the ones I know. Digital Nomad Investor, Alex Cobb, Crypto Eddie. There's Aiden Trading. I think his is Aiden Trading. Brad Combs, and then you got Kevin. I'm drawing a blank on Kevin's name. I'll mention him in a second. But he's the one that's like better looking than all of us. That was Sam I Am joked about that the other day. And then you got, of course, Alex Cobb is the first one, and he does 2 live streams a day. And then I don't recognize some of these guys. Yeah, this is Aiden. This is Aiden Trading. He's the youngest XRP YouTuber. Bank XRP, everybody knows him. CKJ's on the list, and I think he does 2 live streams every day too. And then Crypto Eddie, I think she does. I don't think she does live streams as I recall. But anyway, I look forward to meeting her at Swell. And then you've got, then David Schwartz every so often puts one up. Then they put me on here, and I took note of something, and I want to apologize because I am bad about this. They said, I've heard his children play baseball and that the dishwasher is digital asset investor's best friend. Among the YouTubers, his name appeared the most when answering the question, what YouTuber is more than likely not going to answer my direct message? Whether he did or not, I will not disclose. Well, I will disclose it to you all. I probably did not, and I apologize for that. For those of you that send me direct messages, I don't ignore people intentionally ever. I literally wake up every morning with an inbox chock full of direct messages, and I just click, and a lot of times I'm just randomly picking them. And so it is not in any way trying to be mean or intentional. Maybe if I was one of these young bucks like Alex Cobb, I would be better at hitting every message and better with that type of stuff. But I'm 45. Cut me some slack here. And then Digital Nomad Investor, DM Logic, and then Dusty BC. I'm not really familiar there. Investment Perspectives of Brad Combs. And I'm not familiar with this guy. Okay, Jungle Inc. I'm very familiar with because he inspired my channel. Jungle and Alex Cobb, I would say. And then Kevin Cage. This guy's the man with the major radio voice. I have joked with him and on this channel before about how what it must be like in a guy like that in his house or something who's like, could you please pass me the pepper or something like that? I mean, his voice is like so perfect. It's like, man, how is somebody even born with a voice like that? But anyway, that's go check that Coil blog out. I'm not going to go deep into this. AdX Lighting the Way sent me this. Bittrex is moving from the island of Malta, Blockchain Island, to Liechtenstein. And they didn't say why. They just said they're moving. And then from Steve Baumfalk sent me this. And I thought this was interesting. And anytime someone brings up PolySign, which, by the way, is never brought up, Brad Combs brings it up. I bring it up. Tony Valentino brings it up, apparently. He says they don't want small, this is in reply to something as a while back. They don't want small guys like you and I buying XRP. Behind the scene, PolySign is holding billions of XRP for institutions. Now, the first part of this, I don't know that Ripple cares. I don't know that if we're significant to Ripple or not. It really doesn't matter because we're buying anyway. But what I do agree with is that behind the scenes, PolySign is holding billions of XRP. PolySign may be, listen to what I'm saying here, PolySign could be one of the companies that's involved in helping Ripple do what Brad Combs floated out there, and what I believe too, some sort of a pre-allocation or to earmark XRP for central banks and banks around the world that can't necessarily physically hold it themselves right now. But I believe PolySign is in the mix, and I will show you why. I've shown you this before. This is PolySign. It's polysign.io. Don't take my word for it. Just go and look at who is Arthur Brito, who's the mystery man who helped create XRP. These are all people from Ripple that work at PolySign. Antoinette O'Gorman, Ripple, was the CCO of Ripple Labs. Anna Tong, prior to PolySign, she was the first project manager at Ripple, where she led all of Ripple's consumer products, such as their exchange product and first version of XRapid. And we all know David Schwartz, who is the current CTO of Ripple and one of the creators of XRP. It was David Schwartz, Arthur Brito, and Jed McCaleb, who also left and formed Stellar. All right, BondCrypt. There are now 11 blockchain unicorns in the world. I thought this was interesting to show you. Let me do a refresh. These are the 11 blockchain unicorns with over $1 billion valuation. Here's the list: Bitmain, Coinbase, Ripple, Canaan, Circle, Binance, Block One, Definity, eBang, Bitfury, Liquid. My prediction is that this one will be number one before it's over, probably sooner rather than later. And then I haven't heard from my old buddy C3 Nick lately, but he did send me this, which kind of puts things in perspective. Every once in a while, it is good for us to revisit what's really important in life. If you worry about crypto all day watching 1-minute charts, here's what really matters. #love. This young man with cerebral palsy is skateboarding for the first time with a little ingenuity and a lot of his mother's love. This is the Twitter content I'm here for. That little boy looks happy. That is pretty darn heartwarming. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button and tell your friends and family that I really want to know if Brad Garlinghouse has to unload or load his dishwasher, and I'm going to find out. Thank you for listening.